I was watching on the plane on the way over. I was watching a documentary on Mike Tyson. I used to love boxing. I was a big boxing fan all my life. I actually loved to being a boxer.
Right.
And, but I remember Harry Carpenter back years and years ago. I remember when he first came on the TV, and he said, "Now here's an interesting young man, Michael Tyson, 16 years old." And Mike came on, and he, about 15 seconds into the fight, there was some little guy lying, beat up on the thing. He was pretty intense, Mike. And I followed his career. I saw everything. Mike became champion of the world. He was incredible. Just this young kid from the Catskill Mountains in America, he became champion of the world. And his rise to, you watched, his rise. It was unbelievable. Like he was he could go in any club, he could go in anywhere. He was hailed as like the greatest thing. He had he had a great time. And then I saw him. And then, we know what happened after that. I think some of his children died. He's about 46 now, I think, Mike. He's about the same age as me. And he's lost all his money, and he's So in his prime, Mike was Mike had white tigers. Mike, I don't think anybody's got white tigers in Nottingham. Even, some guy's got a bit of cash, he wouldn't say, "Yeah, I want to feed the tigers." Mike had white tigers. And I saw him on this documentary, and he's got this tattoo on his face that he got done in some rage trying to find himself, poor old Mike. And he just said at the interview, he said, "All I want to do, I just want to see my children graduate from college." And I thought, what was it? What on earth happened to this guy? How is he humble now? What humbled him? Because no man could do it. No man could humble Mike Tyson. He would just knock him out. What humbled this guy? What was it that humbled this guy? And of course, when you look at it, you see his age, and you see that he was part of the middle of life. In that time in the middle of life. They say, you see, in psychology, they say in between 30 and ages of 30 and 50, give or take 10 years on either side, you enter into what they call the middle passage, or what is commonly known as the midlife crisis. And they say it's a time when who you think you are gets killed by who you really are. And it's actually, in technical terms, it's actually the death of the ego. This personality we take on, we acquire this personality. I'm Francis Dunnery, the guy. That is what gets killed, and what happens is that it gets killed, and the truth, your true self comes forward sometime during there. But it's a very humbling experience for everyone involved. And if you imagine you've got 10 actors on a stage, this is a great way to describe it. Imagine you've got 10 actors on a stage, and each actor represents a different part of your personality. For the first 30 years of life, you only like 6 of them. And you let them out onto the stage, and they read their part. It's like, "Hey, it's me! It's me! Me!" It's a me song. It's me! Everything's about me, and I, and me. Now the other 4 are backstage, and they're pissed off. They've got their part, but you won't let them out. The middle passage, or the midlife crisis, is the time of life when the 4 actors who are backstage can't take it anymore, and they go, "Fuck it," they kick the door down, and they run on and they read their part. And for some of us it means divorce. For some of us it means having children. For some of us it means a complete change of career. For some of us it means an illness. For some it means parents dying. All sorts of things. It can mean all sorts of things, but it's very disturbing and a very difficult time that nobody really talks about, really. We just go through it kind of silently, these dreadful times. And the middle of life is a very humbling time for everyone. And it's not something you can avoid, from Prince Charles to Mike Tyson. We all have that moment. And so there I was in my youth, ecstatic and all these great times and not a care in the world. Everything was fantastic, and I was on top of the pops, and everything was going great. I had my leather pants on and my long blonde hair, and I was doing my thing. And I was good at it too. And then I hit the middle of life. In the middle of life, the eye of a needle, like crossing a river. Darkness of night, I found my soul in that cold and murky water. So I'm starting over in the middle of life. Brother, lend me a rainbow to brighten up these blues, browns and reds, and throw me a halo. I really need another light. The ending's so close now. I'm lost in a hedgerow, and every time I try to find all the seems I lost all my future this time. I got all these things on my mind, and the wilderness darkens my soul and bangs on my door. This is the middle of life. A man and his sword, the dragons and the fireflies. This book is written on the pages of mine. I'm lost in a castle, and I don't know who I am anymore. The devil whispers welcome. You're in the middle of life. Sister, lend me a sunset so I can get a little yellow. Chestnut tree, 'cause I need a plateau so I can find the middle road where I hope to go. Seems I lost all my good faith this time. I got 42 things on my mind, and the youngest of 5 years in time holds up a sign. It says, Dad, you're in the middle of life. He got out of bed on the wrong side of hellfire. Oh, my darling, he said, thrashed by the pains of life. After all it's been said, won't you throw me a helpline? So she threw on his firewood, and he called on the juicer to keep the six at bay. By the river, there's a ferryman waiting with a ticket to the middle of life. I got all this confusion to sell as I stand in the shadow of the grave, and I'm lost in my own fairy tale. And there's a shop, and I'm on sale. It's the middle of life. say, won't you give me your help? So then the middle passage starts to kick in.